Hello and welcome to the show. Forgive me if I sound a little nasal today. Well, that's because we're at a certain time of the year over here in Abuja, the rainy season, and the children. I mentioned a couple of episodes ago that the cold was making its round through our household, so it went through the kids. Was wifey's turn, and now apparently it's mine. So if I sound funny, that's the reason why. Welcome to the show. The show is the Sales for the Nigerian Business Person podcast. It's available on the big three on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple iTunes, or any podcast player of your choice. So, subscribe for free once you're done listening to this episode. Why do I mention subscribe for free? Because at my last speaking engagement, I ran into a couple of people who thought that you had to pay for this podcast. And even after that, some friends of mine, came over the house a couple of days ago and the whole thing came up again. And, how much is it to subscribe to your podcast? And the answer is it's totally free. Using all of these platforms, you don't get to pay a dime. So, today on the show, how to chase away time wasters, in quote, from your timeline. That's if you sell products or services on social media. So, those of you who sell skincare, let's see what else. You're promoting your photography services on Instagram, or maybe you're touting your consultancy services on LinkedIn, just like me. So, how do you chase away time wasters from your Twitter, your Facebook, your LinkedIn, your Instagram threads? Oh, yeah, by the way, Instagram threads, that's the latest offering from Zuckerberg, Facebook, Instagram, that whole ecosystem. Okay, well, WhatsApp is part of the ecosystem. Anyway, it looks like a Twitter rival. I joined it a couple of days ago. Seems to be gaining in popularity. I've only been on it for about, should I say, 3 days? 3 or 4 days. So perhaps there's a contender out there to take a swipe at Twitter's spot, because everybody else pretty much has some sort of competition or has gone through a competition phase. Like Facebook, there was a time when Google had their own, Google had, what was it called? There was a thing that Google had its own, like Facebook rival, but that went out of style. I know that back in my wedding photography days, we really liked to be on it. That's we photographer types. And so everybody has gone through its own phase of competition. So I guess now is the time for Twitter to go through its own phase of having viable competition, and that seems to be coming from Zuckerberg. So that's Threads from Instagram. If you use an Android phone like I do and you're looking for it, if you type in Threads from Instagram, then it'll come up. So once I get more familiar with this platform and I do some more research on it, perhaps I make a podcast episode on that in the future. Okay, so back to where we were. So bottom line, how do we chase away time wasters from our thread feeds? If you're on thread, from our Twitter, our Facebook, our LinkedIn, Instagram, how do we get away all these time wasters? One tactic that I've seen people do is they put up the post. You put up the latest skincare cream. If you use this, your skin is going to be 3 shades golden, or buy this car. This car is available now. Toyota Corolla, blah 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 model, 3.5 model, 3.5M. It's a steal. Holla at me now. And then I noticed that people put something at the bottom of all that. They say text if interested. Exclamation mark. Only serious buyers, please. Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. Loads of exclamation marks. Some people do it in caps. Text me if interested. Only serious buyers, please. In caps. And so, I wonder, is this an effective way to keep away time wasters by putting these sorts of captions at the end of your post? Now, when you say this on your Facebook, your LinkedIn, your Instagram, your whatever, what are you trying to achieve? You're trying to keep time wasters away. Now, will this keep time wasters away? Unfortunately, the answer is no, because some people are showing up without knowing exactly what it is that you have and whether it can solve their problem and at what price. Let me repeat again. There are some people who are not showing up to your post because they are being malicious and because they have nothing better else to do than to waste your time. It's just because they don't know what you have, whether this can solve their problem, and at what price. So you put it up there and you put the picture and you say Toyota Corolla, blah, 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 3.5M. Now, the car head will obviously, looking from the picture, will know that, okay, yeah, this is the car, these are the specs, perhaps this is a good deal, perhaps this is not. But the average person is not a car head. The average person looks at the picture, thinks it's okay, The person knows that Samuel at the office has a car that kind of look like this, but I'm not sure. So I'm curious. Let me just send a DM. The person is not trying to waste your time. The person just doesn't know anything about this car and whether it's a fair deal. So that's the reason why they're hitting you up in a DM. Because it might be the kind of car that Samuel has. If it's Samuel's car, then yeah, it's a good car. But then if it's not Samuel's car, I don't know. Let me see how much are they far away from me. Maybe I can hook up an inspection so I can go and have a look at the car or drive it or something like that. This person didn't hit you up in your DM because the person is trying to be a time waster. So, if we have people like this coming to our Facebook, our LinkedIn, our Instagram, looking at the car that we put up, or looking at the latest skincare product that we've put up, or looking at the latest wig or bone straight that we've put up, if they don't know the price, if they don't know it can solve their problem, and other important things, that I might have to look through before they make a decision, then it is our job to direct the conversation. Let's stop expecting buyers to come fully formed and ready. This is the problem is, the thing, it happens once in a while that you put up something and then somebody calls and says, you know what, I've been looking for this thing, exactly this thing, how much? You state your price. You say, you know, I can't pay more than this, take it or leave it, the price is good to you. You say deal, and then yes, 2 minutes, you're done, money's in your bank account, and the person leaves. That happens, but that is not going to happen a lot of the time. So because it has happened to you one or two times, let's stop expecting that that's the usual way that business happens. Unfortunately, these sorts of people that we call actualized buyers, that's in the business, in the sales circles, because people actualized buyers are few and far in between. So let's stop expecting everybody else to come fully formed and fully ready, that they're just going to show up and say, oh my God, I've been looking for this thing. What is your bank account? Here, take it. When are you going to deliver to me? So that does happen, but that doesn't happen majority of the time. So if there's no such thing as a fully formed and ready buyer, then what are the things that we can do to weed out unserious buyers, in quote? I am using this term unserious buyer, but remember, I stated at the beginning of the show that yes, some people are unserious. In fact, some people are downright stupid. But most of the people are not being unserious or stupid. They just have no idea. Is this what I'm looking for? Is this a reasonable price? Is this the same sort of car, the same sort of hair, the same sort of dress, the same sort of this, the same sort of that I saw this person use, that I saw that person use? What is the next stage? Am I supposed to inspect it? What are the important things to think about? Those are the things that are running through these people's minds. So, how do we read through all these people? Number one is to put out qualifying criteria to scare them away. So, saying prices start from 50K only, that is pretty good. That's assuming that your product goes for 50K and above. Now, if you say prices starting from 50K only, the thing is, people who don't have 50,000 naira are not going to call you. If you say prices starting from 50K, but somebody was thinking, okay, I should be able to buy this bone straight wig for my wife for 30 grand. Once the person sees 50K, the average person will say, oh, okay, I only have 30. And they'll move on. Now, some of them will still call to see if you can negotiate from that 50 down to 30, but that's just the price of being in the game, in the sales game, in the business game. But rest assured that if you put prices starting from 50K, most people who don't have 50K are not going to call. Another thing, you can say minimum purchase of 3 items only. So that way, people looking for only one item are not going to call you. So the man who wants to buy a bone straight wig for his wife for her birthday, if he only wants to buy one, but he's saying there that minimum purchase 3 items, he is not going to call you. He is going to look someplace else. Granted, some people might call to try and see that, okay, yes, I saw 3 items only, but sister, can we do one? Because after all, it's only one I need. I'm buying it for my wife. It's her birthday. Yes, those people will still call. But most people are reasonable. And if they see that minimum is 3 items only, they are not going to call you. Another thing you can do is you try and shift the traffic to another avenue. So some people say, blah, 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 minimum price starting from 50,000, this, that. If you're not ready to buy, but you want to learn more, email me at xyz.com, or do this, or WhatsApp at blah, 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 or DM me at something, something, something. That way, you've moved all the time wasters, all the unserious people, in quote, to another channel that you can deal with later on. Now, some people do this because they want to ignore these people. But in my own opinion, if you move all these unserious people, in quote, remember, I'm only adopting your term, but I believe that there's no such thing as an unserious buyer. So if you move all these unserious people to another avenue, then I think what you should do is to take your time after you're done with the busy day at work, delivering and dealing with serious buyers. Move to your inbox, move to wherever it is that you sent them, and start sorting through, engaging with them in conversations to try and figure out who might be a serious buyer. Because I bet you, if 20 people come through that channel, not all 20 of them are unserious, in quote. Out of the 20, you might find 3 or 4 who are ready to go. They just need some education on some stuff, or they need you to explain a few things, walk through a few things, or to hook up an inspection first. Okay, so those are some of the things that you can do to move away unserious buyers, in quote. Remember, for me, I don't think there's anything such thing as an unserious buyer, because people have reasonable questions before they part with their hard-earned money. Okay. Oh, by the way, for those of you who sell hair, I'm not sure if 30,000 naira is a reasonable price for bone straight wigs and all those things, because I hear that some of them go for 200,000, 300, 400. So I don't know if 30,000 is a reasonable price. I'm just making stuff up here, just to illustrate a point. Okay. Now, final thing I'd like us to tackle, since we've done over 10 minutes. What is the proper business philosophy to have when people hit you up in your timeline or they hit you up in your DMs? You have to be willing to sort through conversations to find the serious buyers. You need to invest time with people, because that's your job as the business owner or self-employed person or as a salesperson. We need to invest the time. Let's stop thinking that we're just going to set up the Instagram handle and then money is going to start falling out of the sky and only serious people are going to contact us from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. That's not how it works. This is part of the gig. We have to sort through to find the serious people. And those are the sorts of things that I talk about over here on the show, where we talk about qualifying frameworks, discovery questions, conversation frameworks to have, those sorts of things. So that's the whole point of the podcast. Sorry, forgive me. School is really weighing on me heavily today. Where was I? Yeah, so sorting through is part of the job. And if you're interested in trying to find out how to be much more effective in sorting through people to find who the serious buyers are, then subscribe to the show, because these are the sorts of things that we talk about every single day. Now, if you love what you've heard so far on the podcast and you would like daily access to me to hear any questions related to how to sell in your business or how to sort through serious or unserious buyers, then my WhatsApp coaching club is now open. The investment required is only 5,000 naira a month, and you get to ask me anything, and I'll give you answers and assignments to move your business forward. If you're interested, hit me up on social media DMs. I'm available on all social medias, including Threads, like I mentioned. Or you can send a message to me, letting me know that you're interested on 080 6466 2140. The country code for Nigeria is +234. So connect with me on LinkedIn or your social media of choice. The name is Tabashima Ayede. The spelling, email address, the photo, now on the website where you're listening to this episode right now. Or you can check the profile of the podcast app where you're currently listening to my voice. You see the correct spelling of my name. And finally, if you're starting off a business and you want to save to get capital to start that business, instead of looking for bank loans, then I'm affiliated with a reputable financial institution that has over 504 billion naira in assets under management. That's as of 2023. In case you happen to be listening to this particular episode in 2025, just know that this was recorded in 2023. So these people are in the business of protecting and guaranteeing your savings. So message me on 080 6466 2140 to get started on saving towards your dream of starting a business. So it doesn't have to be saving towards the business goals. Any saving plan will do. There are some people who get in touch because they want to save. They want to save towards school fees. They want to save towards a car, save towards whatever. We have various financial plans that will do that. So thank you very much for your time and attention. I'll catch you guys at the next episode, and hopefully my cold will be over then. If you live in the Abuja environs and, if you're in this part of the world where we're currently in the rainy season, and of course kids are in school, remember, take your vitamins, rest well, so you don't end up like I am currently with a cold. So thanks for your time and attention. I'll catch you guys at the next recording.